Hello and welcome to Rotted Reviews, and I thought that we would start things out in 2024 right by actually digging into 2024. And by all accounts, it looks like Roadkill, written and directed by Warren Fast, is the first horror movie to come out of the VOD gate this year. So what is Roadkill even about? Is this worth watching? Do I recommend it? Well, I'll get to that in just a moment, but first I wanted to take an opportunity and just thank all of my patrons. This channel is primarily community supported, and I just want to go ahead and thank everybody from the bottom of my heart for all of your support and sticking with me throughout these years. If you're interested in supporting this channel and becoming a Rotted Reviews patron, just go ahead and click the link in the description below. We have watch parties, Discord benefits, weekly vlogs, all sorts of great stuff, starting at only $1 a month. Okay, so Roadkill. This is a movie that was, well, I say it's the first horror movie of 2024 to hit VOD platforms. I may be wrong in that. It's the first one that I've seen hit the charts there. And by saying this is a horror movie, well, it's a little bit of a stretch. And if you know me and you know my channel, you know that the shoehorning definition within the horror genre is just my least favorite conversation to have. Is this considered horror? Is this considered elevated drama? Or is this considered a dark comedy? But regardless, Roadkill is, by all accounts, a road revenge type movie that takes some inspiration from some of its 70s and 80s brethren. And according to IMDb, in the genre, it has action, adventure, crime, drama, fantasy, horror, mystery, and thriller. So, well, Roadkill seems to be just everything, doesn't it? And what it is in actuality is an absolutely meek, impotent, feckless attempt to have any sort of grit and grime in an actual road revenge movie. And in this we have Caitlin Carmichael, who plays the driver of a beautiful red Chevy Nova SS, who picks up the hitchhiker, played by Ryan Knudsen. And they go on the road together. They're trying to get to what they claim to be the same destinations. They're on the inland back roads of Florida, traveling basically in the middle of nowhere. So they stop along the way to various places, gas stations, restaurants, what have you. And little do they know, or do they, that there is a trail of violence being left in their wake and a sheriff on the trail of murder victims as they travel along. So the real long and short of this is whatever you're looking for in this type of movie, you're not going to find it in 2024's Road Rage. If you're looking for interesting and dynamic characters, they aren't here. If you're looking for ultra violence and like an actual true gritty, grimy homage to the 70s, 80s road killer movies of yore, it's not here either. The only thing this movie delivers is some of the worst writing I've ever seen. The dialogue, the character decisions, the motivations, the interactions, everything about this was just absolutely abhorrent, and you can tell that it really took place at the screenplay first.
Do you live here?
No. I was just gonna see if they had some water.
You're just walking?
Yeah. Lost my job and they took my car, so...
Nobody in this movie speaks in any sort of realistic fashion. No character jumps off screen in any sort of interesting way. Even the whole kind of gruff, quiet, stoic traveler trope in this movie is just completely done a total disservice by pulling back in every way and not actually having anything interesting happen.
Aren't you hungry?
What?
The violence is laughable and mostly takes place off screen with characters reacting to violence. Oh my God, that's disgusting. Things like that, but not actually showing it. And what they do manage to show is the worst makeup effects in the world. The sound design was absolutely distractingly horrendous. Half of the dialogue was ADR'd in, and half the sound effects were just completely muted out.
You little shit. You little shit! You think I got money to stuff your face with people food?
There were only two shocking things about this movie for me. One, that Danielle Harris was in it, and two, sorry, this is a bit of a spoiler, but at some point, that beautiful Chevy Nova does indeed get blown up, and I can really only hope that they actually had two or more on set, one that was working and running and so forth, and one that was basically just a shell that they could light on fire. Because if they actually destroyed that beautiful car for this movie, that's a sin. That is a fucking sin.
Not like this.
If you're looking for a good bad movie, this one actually might fit the bill. The dialogue is cheesy enough and the interactions are forehead slapping enough that you might actually get something out of this in terms of watching it with friends and just laughing at everything that goes on. There is no other surprises to be found here. There's no other quality to be found here. This is simply only to be watched as a good bad movie. And I submit that, like some of the best good bad movies, I do think that this one was slightly inadvertent. I do think that the filmmakers intended this to be a bit better than it actually was. And this wasn't like a Dude Bro Party Massacre 3 where it was purposefully put out as a good bad movie. So yeah, I do feel a little bad railing on it as much as I am, but it deserves it. It really does. And I'm trying not to make it personal. I'm trying to really kind of critique the art and not the artist. And I'm hoping I'm succeeding on that in some fashion. But doing so and critiquing this as an art piece, there's nothing here. And I say this as a lover of some of those old cult classic road revenge type movies. It doesn't have to be Oscar bait. It just has to be fun, entertaining, and scratch that itch of either interesting characters or ultra violence, and if we get really lucky, potentially both at the same time, instead of neither. So this is currently available to rent or buy on various VOD platforms. Not sure why you would want to, but it's there. And I think I'll go ahead and sign off now. So thank you so much for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider clicking like and subscribe. And remember, next time you want to watch a horror movie, first make sure that it's good and rotted.